Which brings me to a unique scenario that doesn't happen to a lot of people, but when it does, it's a mess, and that's carjacking. You're driving in a foreign country, and all of a sudden somebody opens your car door, pulls you out, jumps in the car and drives off, or they stick something in your side, a knife or something, push you over, and they drive off and then throw you out someplace else. How do you avoid carjacking? People do that to people who are not observant. Okay, what are the two rules? Visual and hearing. We're going to increase our visual while we're driving and our hearing while we're driving. I don't mean turning your radio on and playing with your iPad or playing with your iPhone listening to music. I'm not talking about that kind of increased awareness. I'm talking about the awareness that comes from looking outside your vehicle other than just, I don't want to hit the car next to me. The two biggest targets overseas are single females traveling alone and very expensive cars that make it appear you're very wealthy. If you can avoid either one of those scenarios and still rent a car that runs well, that would be advisable. No matter how wealthy you are, that's still advisable. The locations for these hijackings are usually in urban areas, not necessarily out in the country because there's fewer people there. And so someone who wants to steal a car isn't necessarily going to go out in the country because there's not a lot of cars out there. So they go into the cities to get them. And it's really difficult to hijack a car when it's doing 60 miles an hour. So when the cars are stopped, that's when they get hijacked. So let me give you 8 points on how to avoid a carjacking. Number 1, be aware of the surrounding people in traffic, the ones that are closest to you. I don't necessarily mean in cars. I mean individuals outside of the cars. Be aware of them. Peripheral vision. Increase your awareness. 2, keep your doors locked and your windows up. The number one reason people succeed at carjacking is because they didn't have their door locked or they had their window down and access was easy. Number 3, make sure the car has working air conditioning so you're not tempted to roll your window down. 4, be suspicious of people who on foot are approaching your vehicle. Notice you're looking mirrors, you're looking around, not paranoid, but enough to say, I want to know who's approaching my vehicle. 5, don't tailgate the person in front of you. Leave enough distance that if you see somebody approaching and you're nervous about it, you can actually pull away without having to back up. If you are being attacked and you have that distance, then pull away. Even if you have to drive through a red light, just because it's red and someone's attacking you, go ahead through the red light. If you have to drive on a sidewalk, don't hit anybody. But don't worry about the car if you're actually being attacked. Leave yourself room so that you can get the car out of the situation. 6, and if you are being approached and it's obvious the person's coming to steal your car, drive away. Don't try to have a conversation. Don't worry about running over a sidewalk. Drive away. Get away from it. 7, if a car behind you bumps you, don't assume you've just experienced an accident, because sometimes the bump is to get you to get out of the car. So don't get out of the car right away. Grab your cell phone and do what you need to do to call different people, but don't get out of the car right away. Look in the mirror and see the people in the car. See if you can see their eyes. Are they in a panic? Hit the guy? Or are they waiting to see what you're going to do? Make a judgment call, but don't get out of the car immediately after being bumped from behind. It could be a ploy to steal your car. And look closely at the people around your car immediately after being bumped. Take that in consideration too. And then number 8, I'm going to make an assumption you brought your cell phone with you. You know the number for 911 in the country you're going to. It may not be 911. It may be 356. Learn that number before you get in the car and take your phone with you. Okay? That's carjacking. May it never happen to you. 90% of the time can be avoided if you are aware of what's going on. We've already talked about where to stay, relatives, etc., but I want to focus on safety in hotels. If you don't know which hotel to go to, you have to go to a hotel. You can't stay with your date or her relatives. You have to go to a hotel. Then call the consulate or call the embassy and ask for advice. Ask for recommendations. What's the best hotel to stay at in this particular area? Because they're going to know that. Second, you probably shouldn't stay higher than the 3rd floor. Why? Because if there's a fire in the building and you have to jump, you're going to hurt yourself if you jump higher than a 3rd floor. If you jump out of the 2nd or the 3rd, you got a chance of not hurting yourself. Probably don't stay higher than the 3rd floor. Third, it's advisable that the hotel will give you pass cards instead of metal keys, because metal keys can be copied by people who break into apartments, but pass cards are difficult to counterfeit as opposed to keys. 4, don't stay in a motel where anybody can walk into any room, any apartment, etc., without going through a center point of a front desk kind of thing. Don't stay in a motel because you don't want people to have direct access to your apartment. And 5, if you're going to rent a car, you probably need a secure parking lot. In Italy, there are lots and lots and lots of safety parking lots. They're secure. You pay for them. There may be a security guard there. Especially in southern Italy, cars get stolen if they're left out on the street. And the people are very nice and loving, but nonetheless, cars get stolen if they get left out on the street. So whatever country you're going to, see if you can, if you need, ask your date, a secure parking lot for parking your rented car. You don't want to have your car stolen. In Italy last summer, we rented a car that was so adaptable that you couldn't recognize it when you're standing right in front of it. And I parked it. We met a couple of friends there. We went into town. This was in Lucca, which is a beautiful city. And as we came back, we're going to get in our car and take off, and I couldn't find a car. And I knew I parked it there. And the place that I thought I'd parked was a hole. There was no parking. There was a parking space there. There was no car there. Somebody stole my car. Somebody stole my rented car. I walked 5 blocks in that direction. I walked all the way back, and as I got all the way back, I realized that I'd crossed the street too far down the road, and I'd been looking in the wrong spot, and there was my car. Nobody had stolen my car. Let me tell you how I panicked. I panicked. I'm reaching in for my paperwork. Do I have the insurance? Am I going to have to go to the police? Don't get your car stolen, okay? I mean, if you're going to get your car stolen, at least take the proper medicine for an ulcer, right? Okay. Now, my last point is, when you come home, you think everything's safe and you're fine. Well, it depends on what you bring back. If you don't take something over there, but you do bring it back, you have to declare it. And some things are just illegal in your home country. And you can actually be arrested and put in jail for bringing stuff back you didn't realize you weren't supposed to bring back. So check out the Customs Duty website and find out what you can and can't bring back before you leave, so you don't have a fantastic time of being safe there and get locked up in your own country. Okay? Now there's a PDF at the end of this. Please use it as a checklist. Walk your way through these things. Start practicing these things now of peripheral vision and eyes, and be aware. Increase your awareness. Build your safety net in that other country. You will be enormously beneficial to your date if you do this. And if someone else wants to come over and date his or her sister, his or her brother, you can help them work through staying safe, because you built up your own safety net and you can help them build up theirs. Okay? Don't get paranoid. Don't get paranoid. Make it as I need to do this to stay safe, and I need to do it for my date. And you can have a lot of fun doing this. I want you to enjoy this incredible adventure for yourself. And I want you coming back safe, unless you choose to stay married and stay there forever. Okay? All right. Take a deep breath. You finished 3 videos on safety. You got 1 to go. This one includes very specific things to do once you get there. We've already covered you're going to increase your awareness practicing things in your home country. Then we covered the general principles of practicing the same thing overseas. And then we dealt with some very specific circumstances that you want to do, anything you can to avoid. Now we're going to give you a very specific list of things to actually do once you get to your country. And if you do these things, you're 95% safe, no problems whatsoever. Once we're done that 4th one, you'll review these 4, and we'll get you to the airport. Okay? I'm still enjoying this. I hope you are. See you in the next video.